Hey guys, I am Nick, joined by Chris, and we are CUPE Talking to Maritimes, and we are sitting here talking with the provincial president of 2745, Theresa McAllister. Theresa, there's a whole lot going on right now. I need to ask you, how are you doing?
I am surviving. It is hectic, busy, but we'll get through it.
There have been so many things being said, things people are reading, and everyone's questioning everyone. No one knows for sure. As one thing we can say for certain is there is a webinar that you will be a part of here today as we are recording. It is coming up shortly. Are you hoping to convey to get the message out to all your members and have them understand why everything is happening and why the pause and why we need to make sure that everything is on a straight and narrow here.
That is my hope, is that we have a great participation and that we can convey some of the whys, hows, what are we doing, why are we doing this? Because a lot of them do not understand that stopped the vote, which was supposed to take place today at 3 o'clock on our tentative agreement because of circumstances that have arisen since Friday, October 10th. So moving forward, we paused it and we will give a rationale.
So this all really started back in early May, where the government had made the announcement that they wanted to cut library workers. And then it went to the labor board in July and August, and all these different dates come up where they were ordered to rescind that and that these workers be reinstated. And now we're being told, obviously, as everybody hears, that as soon as this contract signed, that these workers are going to be laid off. Obviously here at QP Talk, we've talked about it before, and it makes us upset. Obviously, it's making your members upset, and those poor library workers are just, in fear of losing their positions. So, can you tell us, I guess, a little bit more in depth as to what I guess the government has told you is what what's going to happen?
I got a phone call. I was out of province and I got a phone call saying that this was their plan of action, that they were going to resend the layoff letters to those members that were previously laid off April 28th. And that effective 2 weeks after the tentative agreement was signed, a ratification vote took place, that layoff would be then, that would commence then.
You know, it really, when I was looking at something that Renee Legacy had said about asserting the more resources into direct student support and implying that libraries' roles may not qualify. That is something that really infuriates me because I feel like they're trying to make the public think they're looking out for the students when realistically, that's not at all what they're doing. They're trying to eliminate jobs without actually making it look like they're doing something bad. And it's the total opposite to that. They are actually they are ruining people's lives, and it's detrimental to the children because those libraries, and I know you and me and Chris have had this conversation on this show where we discussed about the safe place. That's where the kids can go. Librarians are more than just checking in and checking out books, let me tell you. There's a whole lot more to that. And there's a whole lot more to what's going on that people don't realize. What is, if you could say anything to the public in regards to librarian workers, sticking with that, because that's been the biggest headline of this whole thing, what would you say to the public in relates to librarians?
The school library workers do a lot more than check in, check out, and shelve books. They are an important piece to the education system and they work with the children. Whether they want to believe that or not, as per Mr. Legacy and Claire Johnson in the beginning, they are an integral part. And we have to remember, not all kids have access to public libraries or internets or Wi-Fi's or things like that. The school-based library, that's where they can go and get the assistance that they need. And most develop very good relationships and a trust with the workers. So that is gone. And the kids, you're right, Nick, because in the court, they said by moving and putting the library workers back and things like that, it would be detrimental to the children. But yet, here we are, we're doing it all over.
I know that I kind of nudged you to go there, but I need to take one more piece of this because um, you just said something there about, the rulings and the detrimental to the children, just like I did. And I think it's important that the public understand that this was the labor board ruling, and I'll read you it. They found that the province violated its duty to bargain in good faith. So now we're told you bargained in bad faith. That's what we were told. Okay, the court of King's Bench enforced the labor board's decision on that. So now, when all said and done, as far as I'm concerned, the librarians should be back to work. We should be getting that tentative agreement figured out, and we should be happy. The fact that the Anglophone school district would turn around and say, we're still going to do it anyway, but we're just going to go about it differently is absolutely wrong. And it's demoralizing to all of those librarians. And also, it demoralizes everything that's going on in 2745 because nobody knows what they all do unless you want to put on a pair of shoes and walk in their path. Because I know how hard they work because I work in the friggin' school system and I see it every day.
And they do work hard. All public workers work hard. And one loss is one too many. We need those people. We need them to maintain those positions, and we need to fight for each and every one of those lost jobs.
That's right. And a lot of people don't realize, and I don't know if the government realizes this, but this is where the love of learning actually takes place, right? When a child comes down to the library, checks out a book, and gets to, escape reality and just get immersed into something, that's where it all begins. We have some of the lowest literacy rates in the province, or in Canada, actually, here in New Brunswick. So I know when I had spoken about it to the New Brunswick Literacy Coalition, they had great concerns previous as well and reached out to the Minister of Education and expressed their displeasures with it as well. So I do know that 2745 isn't going about it alone. Obviously, you have the support of the Federation of Labor, you have the support of the literacy coalitions, you have the support of all unions fighting to help protect these jobs, and we'll do whatever is necessary to stand up and make enough noise to hopefully get this reversed. Because, like Nick said, it's very detrimental, and it's very important that we keep these positions. We can't afford to lose positions in this province as it is, whether they be unionized or not. Obviously, we push for unionized positions, but, we need workers to remain on their jobs. We can't support communities, we can't support small businesses if we keep making slashes and cuts.
And I thank you, Chris, and I thank all of those that are in support of us. And I must reiterate, the mental anguish and anxiety and ill that the library workers are feeling now and the school clerical that are affected is astronomical. They're calling crying, like not once, but twice. And the best, they got the emails while they were at work. So what does that say for respect? Nothing. And as far as the children, children aren't stupid. They know there's something a buzz. They know there's something going on. I know one library worker, she got a thank you for being back. I missed you from one of the children. And now she's going to say, I'm sorry, but I'm leaving again.
I think it's really important that someone like Renee Legacy and Claire Johnson, I think what needs to happen is that they should be fully held accountable for this. I think that they have a decision that they can make that would be better. We're not even gonna, not even about 2745 right at this second for the kids, the
And
kids that need those workers. Okay, Those kids, when they are in a bad place, when they are traveling down a dark road, they always know that those doors are open. And those doors have always been open for as long as I can remember. And when I went to school, doors like that were always open. And to even consider it is just absolutely mind blowing and so disrespectful. I I challenge them to do the right thing and fix this and make it right for the children across New Brunswick because that is our future and they're the ones that are going to take care of us when we're old and gray and we need them. And it's time that they understood that and that they put their petty little problems aside and think of someone else instead of themselves.
This is not a cost-saving measure in any sense of the word, because I'll refer to Anglophone West, who had the most library workers and school admins in layoff. This will be their third round to do the staffing again. So imagine the monies and resources that have been spent on that already would fully probably pay for the wages of the school library workers and the admins. Just think of that. It's not saving them nothing.
No, it's pretty sad when you think about, like you said, it's not saving them anything, but you look at the effect on what it's causing. And, is there a message that you would like us, that did you would like to say to members here on CUPE Talk?
Bear with us. We are working away as quickly as we can. We have legal on our side helping us through this, because this probably will be another legal battle.
As long as people understand that Theresa McAllister has been traveling up and down the roads, back and forth, almost a 2 hour trip, maybe even some change added on to that, to get where she's got to go to get to work for her members because, well, let's be clear, Theresa, you have spoke very openly about what 2745 means to you and what the members mean to you. And it's because of people like you that 2745 is in great hands. And as long as you keep doing what you're doing, I guarantee everything's going to be a success in the end.
I won't give up without a fight, guaranteed.
No, and that's the labor movement way. We always seem like we're battling something. We should be celebrating, the fact that
Yeah.
2745 received a collective agreement and it's going to be signed and workers are going to, be able to receive higher rates of pay, retro payments, and everything else that you've negotiated within your contracts. But here we are fighting again when we should be celebrating. So we'll continue again to do what we got to do to support you. And we just wanted to say thank you for taking the
Yeah.
time out of your super busy schedule to sit down with us and have that chat.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me. Thanks for your time, and I appreciate all of your support. Have a great day.